Back to my channel. I hope you guys are staying happy and staying safe. Today's video is part 2 of the mini-series I'm doing with my family, where I ask them about Islam and the Middle East without actually telling them. Today's video is with my mum, and I will catch up with you after. Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, I've just given Chelsea a call. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Absolutely fine.
No, like, just give whatever answer you want. Just no stress.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to the other room so I can hear questions properly.
Okay.
Like, Google Boxes just started. That was terrible timing.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Go on.
Okay, so, do you know anything about Islam?
Probably not a huge amount, no.
Okay, fair. Me growing up and Chelsea growing up in the small village, what and the media as well, what did you think about Islam when me and Chelsea were growing up?
To be honest, I didn't really have an opinion. I really didn't have an opinion. I still don't really have an opinion.
Yeah. How was the media growing up? Like, what was the information on the TV and the radio? Because
are you on about when I was little, or when you were growing up?
Anything. So you can speak about. Do you want to speak about what it was like when you were growing up, and then when I was born?
When I was growing up?
Yeah.
Basically, all throughout primary school, I knew nothing. So I got to my first year at secondary school in Cornwall. We covered the basics of RE.
Yeah.
Again, literally covering just snippets. So again, I didn't really know. I wasn't until I was a lot older.
Mm-hmm.
Probably finding out for it myself and meeting people on that faith.
What years were you in school again? Primary school.
Primary school, I started in 1975.
Yeah. And then what age did it go to?
And then I left school in 1987.
1986?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any Muslims in school?
There was when I got to, up in year to the Dublin school.
Yeah.
Moorcliff. And then it was quite, although still predominantly white, there was many more sort of different faiths.
Minorities?
Still minorities, totally, yeah.
Yeah. And how is that different from me growing up? Like, obviously you grew up in Cornwall, which is the next county. In Devon, especially in such a small village, I like, and predominantly Christian based, right? I rarely came across any Muslims unless I went to Exeter.
Yeah, and also when you started going abroad, when you were little,
mm-hmm.
and obviously going to places like Turkey,
yeah, Turkey,
predominantly, do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know, I don't have an opinion either way on these people, or I just don't.
Fair. Okay, obviously when me and my sister were young, what on the TV and radio, especially with things like 9/11, because I was 4 or 5.
Yeah, you were at primary school.
Yeah, Chelsea was 6.
Sorry, you were at play school, sorry.
Yeah, so like I was in the school before I went to primary school.
Yeah.
How did that? What was the media like after that happened? Because obviously I can remember it being on TV, but I can't remember what the media was like after.
I know exactly where I was when the news broke from Sky, because I had it on the afternoon before I had to go and get you from play school, and I was pregnant at the time, obviously with Lilith.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember this awful thing, like I'd seen this happen live on TV, and it was about 3:10, and I thought I need to go and get the kids from school. That's all any parent wanted to do, was go and get their kids from school. It had a massive impact on people. Huge.
Yeah. And
every parent I knew was there early that day.
Yeah.
To get their kids from school.
Yeah, it's not good.
Go on.
Did your view after that happened affect? So it changed more negatively towards Muslims. No,
it really didn't.
Okay. How? Like, what was it? Talk to me about how the media, like, what was it like? Because obviously before that happened, the media obviously wasn't as Islamophobic as I would have said, but then after...
They definitely caused a huge... which I haven't seen in this country since... Well, I haven't really seen it, you know. We were ignorant to sort of colour and race, if you like, growing up, because we weren't exposed to anybody. But obviously, as you get older and older, I don't know, it's really difficult, but I do know the past. It went completely right-wing almost. So you had a massive increase in the BNP. All the right-wing thing, and it was horrifying. It was awful. Within a week, there were stalls in Exeter getting people to get their vote for the BNP. And as it was at that point back then, it was the UKIP.
Oh, yeah.
Nigel Farage, of course, he played a blind on that. He wanted everybody to join his party because he didn't want anybody from any country coming into our country. Yeah, it was a cheap shot.
Yeah, it's not good. Do you know anything about the Quran?
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little, I suppose, apart from sort of people that I've been in contact with, the girl that I work with, Pendo.
Yeah.
She used to read her Quran. And only really snippets of what she said, so
yeah.
I can't honestly.
So I had a conversation as well just before this, asking the same questions. I'm going to ask you this as well, obviously, because I spoke to another female. What is your perception about how Islam treats women and how culture in Islam is around women and how they're meant to live?
It's very difficult because you're talking to a westernised woman.
To a what?
I'm a Western woman, so...
yeah. But like from...
So my opinions are going to be totally opposite of the way I think they treat women.
No, but that's what I want to hear. I want to...
I disagree.
So this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I want to understand exactly how the media changes exactly what's true. So like, this is why I'm asking you these questions without giving you preparation, because I want to hear like the real things behind it. So I said this on the last video. I said the biggest difference I think in this is between culture and religion. Many people, especially because in the Quran there's 114 chapters in the Quran and 6,000 verses, and only 3 out of all of those verses tell or talk to women about what they should wear. And
yes, exactly. So it is the far oh God, what they call them? You've always got the extremists. You always literally take it to the left up.
Yeah, and in one of the verses talk about women wearing it's called a khibah, and it...
Yes, I know all of them.
Yeah, and it's obviously across their head and behind their ears, and it floats all the way down.
Yeah.
And there was, after it was written, another verse came down, and it actually, because the hibah, it didn't cover the woman's chest, so the next thing that got sent down was basically information telling the woman to cover up. And those are the only things that are spoken about in the Quran about how women should dress.
Throughout the entire book?
Yeah, throughout the entire thing. And it's the only religious scripture that hasn't ever changed. So this is the biggest difference that I think I wanted to clear up. Not obviously with you and not like my sister, but just globally, because there's a huge difference between religion and culture. And
absolutely.
And obviously the media has a very good way of tying culture and religion together.
And manipulating it to put the two together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and in Islam, it's such a peaceful and like everything said is just so peaceful, but it's...
Yeah, I can 100%. There's not one. I can honestly say that of all the times we went abroad, of all the times, even my uncle, who obviously is Muslim.
Yeah.
I've never known one that's been anything but peaceful.
Yeah. But like,
you know,
that's literally all the questions I wanted to ask. But like, yeah.
And you've got to put it in perspective as well with the, you know.
Oh no, there was one more that I had to ask. I forgot to ask.
That's okay.
How is me travelling around the Middle East and learning about Islam changed your perceptions, if it has changed?
I'm glad you got back in one piece, but I would have been like that wherever, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I was concerned about Iraq. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
And that's not because I'm ignorant, but obviously I only see what's been told to me, if you like.
On the media?
Yeah. I mean, I do my research. I'm pretty good. I don't just take the headlines as, you know, law.
Yeah.
I do my own research. I go on to Reuters, but, you know, half the news on Reuters isn't even in the mainstream news. So I do, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, obviously, I've told my sister about all the countries that have coming up. I'm still yet to tell you, but obviously the countries that are coming up, you know how I like to travel, are very dangerous in terms of the media eyes. Obviously, you're going to feel not as comfortable as you would be going to a less scrutinised country. But would you feel more comfortable now after I've been to other Middle Eastern countries for me to go there?
Yeah, I think so, because I think wherever you go in the world, as a traveller or whatever, you respect their way of life.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's tolerance at the end of the day, you know, wherever you go in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's tolerance. You may not agree with whatever, but if it's done in that community, then...
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
whether you agree with it or not.
I think, yeah, exactly. Whether that's... can be applied to anyone in the world. As like, it's just respect and like showing peace and like unity and love to every single person you meet, whether they're religious, they're anything.
Whatever
just,
their status, religious wise or any otherwise, whether it's their gender or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. And also, final point, there's extreme risk everywhere, Joe.
Yeah.
Look, we have the IRA. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s when it was literally IRA bombs all the time. We have it all the time in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Everything getting blown up, this, that and the other.
Yeah.
Proper homegrown terrorists like that. That's in every religion and every community.
Exactly, and it's people who manipulate the scripture to their ideologies. But yeah, that's all I had to ask, so thanks.
Is that alright?
Yeah, great.
Sure?
So everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed the little series I did with my family. If you enjoyed those conversations with both my mum and my sister and want to see more of my family, then let me know down below.